So people are always asking me to make a video on taking commissions as an artist, you know, what to price them, how to work on them, how to advertise yourself, and I will be making a video on that soon. But I wanted to make this video first just because I feel like I don't see a lot of information on how to commission an artist. I personally am a little socially awkward, and I find it really hard to reach out to an artist to commission them, and I feel like, I don't know, I mean, there's other people like that, right? So this might help you. And even if you're not socially awkward like I am and other people are, maybe you've never commissioned an artist and you don't know what type of information that you're gonna need or how to talk to them, that kind of stuff. So this video is for you, those who have never commissioned an artist and want to, or just are not very good at it. Like I'm not very good at talking, clearly. I'm on the side of the screen now. There's gonna be text here. So the first point I wanna make in commissioning an artist is to reach out. Clearly, that's the first step. Make sure an artist has their commissions opened. So a lot of artists will post commission posts that advertise what they're offering and the pricing. However, you know, sometimes you want to commission an artist, but you haven't seen any of those posts around lately. So how do you find out if their commissions are open? A lot of artists will have whether or not their commissions are open in their, you know, bio. Is that what they're called? Or their description on their social media platforms. If they don't have that, and if they don't have a commission post, and if they don't have anything pinned to the top of their social media thing, then that is when you do have to go in and ask them in their DMs or whatever if their commissions are opened. You don't have to make a big deal out of it. If you are really nervous, just say, hi, just wondering, are your commissions open? I'm really interested in commissioning you. That's all you gotta say. Alright, so let's say you found an artist you want to commission and their commissions are open. How do you move on from that? So use their preferred communication tool. A lot of artists will say, if you're interested, either, you know, comment down below or send me a direct message or email me here. If they are clearly giving out their preferred method of communication, do it through that. So yeah, just use the preferred method of communication. And moving on to the second point of communication, how do you talk to an artist? So I understand that commissioning an artist feels very like formal and business-like, and that can really make people nervous on talking to an artist because you want to be professional. You want to be professional. If that makes you nervous, you don't got to do that. Honestly, even if you're not nervous, you most likely don't have to be or act professional in front of an artist. They're just people, normal people like you. And I do want to say, to be respectful, do not flirt. I feel like that's common sense, but I've gotten it. I've had people flirt with me and it makes me not want to work with you. Do not flirt. Do not be overly, you know, that over familiar rudeness that you might have with your friends. Maybe don't do that with this artist unless you are actually friends with them, which, and I can't judge your friendship, but if you don't know them, you've never spoken to them, do not be playfully rude. Know what you want. Know what you want. I don't know what point I am. I should have like bullet points, but know what you want. So know the character that you want to be drawn, know the facial expression you want them to have, the pose, the background, the mood of the drawing. I feel like that is gonna make a lot of you guys really, I mean, I feel like that could make people like a little nervous, but you most likely have a pretty clear image of what you want this finished work to look like. The artist does not. Tell them every detail you can. The more details you give an artist, the more likely they're gonna be able to provide a finished piece that is what you want, that's close to what you want. Visual references are also very, very, very important. I am doing this because I'm begging you to have a visual reference. If you don't have a visual reference, so let's say it's a character that you just came up with but you don't know how to draw, so this is this commission is gonna be like the character sheet or something. No visual references, it's so easy to make one up. So I've had some people draw like a stick figure and be like, this is the pose I want, and that's cool. Like, even if it's just a stick figure, it makes it really easy for the artist. But let's say you don't know how to draw like the hair and the clothing and whatever, this is when Google is your best friend. I've had people say, I don't have a reference for this character, but I want them to have this hairstyle, and then they link me, or you know, they send me a Google image of some kind of ponytail or something, and I want them to wear a jacket like this, and then another Google image. That saves us, it's just, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that, and how any artist that you commission will appreciate that. Honestly, it just makes life so much easier on both sides. Okay, so you found an artist that you liked, you reached out to them, you gave them all the commission details. Now it's time to wait for the product. This is kind of like the least fun part, obviously, because you are most likely super excited that you're finally getting to commission this artist you really like, and you just want the final product as soon as possible. We get it. But most likely the artist is gonna have other people who commissioned them before you, or they have, you know, school, a job, just a lot of stuff in their life that they're not going to be able to do the commission as fast as you want them to. Be respectful, understand that they're not, that, you know, most of the time they're not just sitting at home doing commission after commission after commission, and that's fine. If you do need this commission by a certain time, let them know like off the bat. Don't save it last minute, be like, oh, by the way, I need this by like tomorrow. That's not gonna work out. So I suggest that when you're commissioning an artist, say, obviously the whole like, hey, I saw your commissions were open, I'd be really interested. I wanna commission a picture for my friend's birthday, which is next month. Do you think you'll be able to take this commission, or, you know, something along those lines? If there is no deadline, you know, that's cool too. But how do you know when they're gonna be finished with your picture? I definitely suggest asking them before you stop the communication, you know, during the waiting time. Before the waiting time happens, I do suggest you ask like, oh, by the way, just wondering, no rush or anything, but do you have like an estimate on when the commission is gonna be done? But definitely don't push them. If they do say like, hey, yeah, I think I should be able to have it done by like 2 weeks from now, and 2 weeks pass and it hasn't been done, give it a couple more days, and then if you still don't hear anything back from them, you know, reach out, be like, hi, you said, you know, it's gonna be done by this time. Is, you know, what is the new estimated time, or, you know, is there any more information I can give you to help you out? However, there are artists out there who are scammers, and I'm not saying that every artist who takes a long time to do commissions are scammers. Clearly that is not the case. They're pretty rare. I don't think I've ever come across one. I've seen a couple. Life gets in the way all the time. Just, you know, pay attention to if they're communicating with you. Try to communicate with them first if they're not reaching out to you, and, you know, if there is, you know, if you've been waiting on a commission for like months or a year, and they definitely said they wouldn't take that long, consider getting a refund, maybe. Talk to them first, figure it out. I should make a whole separate video on how to find scammers, or how to detect a scammer. I feel like I'm gonna get negative comments on this part, but I do. Okay, as an artist, you're more likely to be scammed by a commissioner, but that's not to say that there are no artists out there who are willing to scam people for money. And I don't want to hide that, because it's a reality, it's reality. So I'll make a separate video on that. As long as you're keeping like an open communication about things, it should be like okay. Once it gets to the point where they're kind of just blowing you off and not replying to you, and they disappear off the face of the earth, that's kind of when you should worry. Alright, moving on from the dark topic of scammers, we're going to talk about your finished product. Your commissioner, your artist that you commissioned finished the work, and they sent it to you, and there's something you don't like about it maybe. Maybe you don't like this facial expression or a color they chose for something. Just, there's something about the picture you don't like. Do you tell them to change it or fix it? Do you just live with it? Is it appropriate to ask for a change? Let's go over that. So, most artists will send you a sketch first before the finished product, and they say, hey, this is the sketch. Do you like it? If you do, I'll go on and finish the picture. If there's something you want me to change, let me know. And if there's something about the sketch you don't like, tell them immediately, but nicely, you know, don't be rude about it, but tell them, because it is a lot easier for an artist to fix a sketch than to fix a finished product. All of the layers might be by now, you know, all in one layer, unless they're smart, not like me. It's just a lot easier for them to fix it if it's in Sketch. So let them know, because even if it makes you nervous and you're like, oh my god, I don't want to be like an inconvenience, I just want to, you know, you are, just don't, you know? This is your art. You paid for this art. You deserve to genuinely like it, like 100%. And let's say now that there's something about the finished product you don't like. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit scary to tell them, especially because it's a finished product, but you know, most artists will prefer for you to like genuinely love the product they gave you. Some artists do have a fee, so if you want them to change something in the finished product, it is a lot of work, so they might charge you a few extra dollars to fix it. Make sure you know that information. If you don't, you know, ask them, is there a fee to change something? Obviously, it depends on the changes. If it's a small change, most artists are so fine doing that and changing that for you. If you're trying to change the entire picture and saying, you know what, just kidding, I want this completely different pose, that's not gonna work. That is a whole new commission, and you will, you know, most likely have to pay a whole, you know, for the full price. And understand, it's because it's a whole new picture. Do not try to argue with them. It is just not, don't be that person. All right, okay, it's the end of this, well, almost the end. So, I accidentally ended the video. You have your final product. You love it 100%. Now what? Are you allowed to post it online? Can you use it, you know, for your icon? Can you use the art for your phone background? Well, all artists have their own rules. Some artists are like totally fine for you to use their, you know, commissioned work as your icon, as long as you give proper credit. Just ask the artist what you're allowed to use the art for. Most artists will not allow you to sell the work, you know, like if you want to have that art for like a t-shirt, you know, like t-shirt art. If you are, by the way, planning on using the art for like merchandise, let them know ahead of time, because that comes with a whole set of things, okay? So let them know while you're commissioning them, by the way, I want to sell t-shirts with this art. A whole other thing. A lot of artists will prefer to post the commissioned work on their own social media, because, you know, it is like advertisement, like, hey, people commission me, this is what I am capable of doing. If you're interested, come commission me as well. So they might do that themselves, and if they do like to post that, retweet their stuff, reblog it, whatever things you're on. If they do have a commission post, retweet that, comment on that. If you have friends looking to commission an artist, be like, yo, I did this, you know, I got this commission from this artist and they were like great to work with, you should commission them. You're not required to do this, but you know, it's nice. If you genuinely like the experience you have with the artist, it's really nice for you to do. Another super nice thing for you to do, which is not known about, but it's definitely really, a lot of artists like when you do this. Tip. A lot of people don't know that you can tip an artist for a commission, but yeah, you can do that. Some people like to tip like before, you know, before they even get their product, they'll tip, which is fine. Like, that's great. I've gotten that and it feels amazing. But you know, what if, you know, you don't want to tip them because you don't know if they, you know, you might not like the experience. You are 100% allowed to tip after they're done with the work. Send them an extra few dollars and be like, yo, thank you so much, like, it was so fun working with you, I love the product, here's a few extra monies. Go buy yourself a snack or something like that, you know? It's really nice. But yeah, if you can't afford to tip, like I said, you know, shout them out a few times, advertise them to your friends, and yeah, I'm done. The video's over. Hopefully this helped you get over your fear of reaching out to an artist, and hopefully you know what information you're gonna need now. The more information you have, the easier it is for both of you. So if you have any questions on commissioning an artist, please let me know in the comments down below. I will be trying to answer them, or I might make like a Q&A about this, who knows. And look forward to my next video, or a future video, in which I talk about the other side on being the artist to take commissions, because that's like a whole other thing that's a lot more work. Thank you so much for watching. Please be good outlets for me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!